Good Wednesday morning. This is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Wednesday, November 27th, day before Thanksgiving. This is meteorologist Basil Numerzitsky. Precipitation over the past 7 days. Notice significant amounts here in the green across southern central portions of Utah, especially the higher terrain, southern Nevada. Namely, our southern areas had the most, a ½ inch to locally an inch. Considerably drier, light amounts to locally no amounts as you head further north. On the right-hand side, in terms of percent, normally you can see the purple shades indicating 300 to 400% of normal, to where you have the lighter shades here indicating only 50% of normal in the driest areas. In terms of normal, mountains of central Idaho into western Wyoming, less than 10% of their normal precipitation for the past week. Snowfall in the past 72 hours, quite a bit across much of Nevada. The first two shades of blue, anywhere from about 2 to 4 inches of snow. The yellow amounts anywhere from 6 to 8 inches. Locally higher amounts over a foot, where you see the orange. Again, a good chunk of Nevada, much of the middle and higher terrain of Utah. And up into the mountains of central Idaho, some light amounts. Not so much across western Wyoming, but if we look on the snow cover map on the right, you can see they have already a pretty decent existing snow cover, snowpack map, anywhere from about 8 to 20 inches up there in western Wyoming. About 4 to 8 inches across the higher terrain of central Idaho, and even in these gray shades, an inch or two covering the ground. So basically, about 3/4 of the Great Basin has some sort of snow cover, even down to the valley floor in some areas, and actually more is on the way. So much of Utah, central areas you see here, Bear will probably see some snow cover over the next couple of days with some sharply colder temperatures. And here is the reason why. Well, I don't want to say unseasonably deep, but just a very deep wintertime low-pressure system located near Portland, Oregon, pumping up tons of moisture. We see the enhanced clouds through Nevada into Idaho. Another batch of subtropical moisture coming up from Mexico and pushing into Arizona. This will eventually push into the eastern portion of the Great Basin. So everyone's going to see cloudy, very cold conditions, low snow levels, strong winds in some locations as well for the next few days. So here's a map for today on the left-hand side, where you see areas in the green. The skies are overcast with some sort of precipitation ongoing, probably for just about the entire area. Pretty strong winds, where you see the tighter packing these height lines. Ventilation, where you see the white, is good. So most areas are seeing excellent overall dispersion, which is what you'd expect in the vicinity of a storm system. Strongest transport winds almost entirely out of the south, where you see the brown shades, kind of hard to see, but these are wind speeds of close to 50 miles per hour at the transport level. In terms of vertical mixing, quite a bit of good mixing, several thousand vertical feet upwards, where you see the yellow to orange shades. Now for tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day, that deep storm system has barely budged, just dropped a bit further south across northern California. Still copious amounts of moisture coming in. Good overall dispersion, lowering a little bit here, probably because of the fresh snow cover, maybe creating some low-level inversions. Again, snow cover is going to be the main limitation for any burning. Fuels will be snow-covered. Piles may be the best course of action across at least most of the geographic area, excluding maybe southern Nevada or the Arizona Strip. Looking at transport winds here, diminishing, but still out of the mostly out of the southeast to south, and we see the enhanced orange as the speeds over 30 miles per hour. Strongest winds across eastern and southern Utah. Vertical mixing, of course, good in most areas. Now on Friday, the storm system starts to fall apart. It broadens out. It's kind of centered right over the Nevada, Utah, Idaho border area here. Still lots of moisture and cloud cover. We see the green. There'll be lingering amounts of light to moderate precipitation, mostly in the form of snow. Very cold under this system. Probably snow levels down to 4,000 feet, the basin floor in many locations. Excellent overall dispersion. Winds coming out of the west a little bit. You can see those west-southwest winds here. We see these enhanced colors anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour. A little stronger across eastern Utah. Good vertical mixing. So good mixing, good winds, but also lots of precipitation and snow over the next 3 days. The Utah Clearing Index, where you see areas in the red, is excellent overall dispersion, and we see that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, most areas. In terms of the precipitation we are expecting for the next 3 days, this is basically Wednesday this morning through Saturday morning. You can see through here where you see the first shade of blue, a ½ inch. Where you see the purple shades, it's 1.5 inches, and the red shades over 3 inches of precipitation. So significant amounts. And I should reiterate, above 4,000 feet, most of this will be in the form of snow. So 1 to 2 feet, where you see these enhanced shades of blue to purple. Now, looking further down the road on Saturday, a brief respite. Storm system exits out into the plain states. Another system starts approaching from the Pacific. We'll see extranormal dispersion here, areas in the white, but a little weaker ridge of high pressure may provide some sun and some clearing, some brief drying on Saturday. Sunday, there is the moisture plume from the next storm system affecting western and northern areas. Extranormal dispersion still good dispersion, but still more precipitation on Monday, as in these areas of green where the moisture in the atmosphere is the deepest. Drier across southern Nevada, southern Utah, and the Arizona Strip. On Tuesday, we have high pressure starting to build in across the west coast, drying things out a little bit across just about all the Great Basin. So we'll get a bit of a respite by Tuesday. It'll be the first day that most of the Great Basin sees a fair amount of sunshine with light northerly winds in most areas. Precipitation, this goes from Saturday evening through Monday evening. You see the main storm system taper off. This is the leading edge of the next one. And then that precipitation, as we go into Monday evening through Wednesday evening, becomes a bit more widespread, but lighter, about 1/10 of an inch, local pockets of 1/4 of an inch. So where it's snowing, maybe 1 to 3 inches of additional snowfall, locally higher amounts across the Sierra front, but just about everybody gets wet. So other than pile burning, really not looking too good for any large-scale burn projects for at least the next week or so. The 8 to 14 day shows a return to normal temperatures, but still above normal precipitation as we go from December 4th through December 10th. This concludes our briefing. We won't be giving a briefing this coming Friday. Our next briefing should be this coming Monday. Have a good day and have a great Thanksgiving.